Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Q&A session with myself. I am John. I'm one of the community managers on the Company of Heroes team, and I'm here with my fearless leader, Gabi. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I'm a tad bit anxious actually. It's one of the first time you're having me as a guest here.
Mm.
Normally I am hiding behind my very poor gameplay. So
Yeah, we did a play session, and I think we'll obviously try and have you on camera a lot more moving forward. So
John, well wait,
yeah,
first things first.
yeah,
I want to ask you, is it really cold right now in the studio?
yeah. It's Relic Entertainment HQ. They just jacked up the AC, and it's freezing in here. So I needed something to keep me warm, but fashionable at the same time. So folks, if you haven't checked it out yet, before we get into anything, you can you can also win one of these awesome Co3 bomber jackets. We're doing a monthly raffle where we're giving away one of these every month to some lucky players. So head over to our forums. The link is in the chat, and you can find that all the instructions there for how to sign up and get entered into that monthly raffle to get one of these very cool Co3 bomber jackets. I'm not doing a very good job showing it off, but yeah, it's very cool. Um, and I think
It's hard
Gabby,
doing that sitting on a chair.
yeah,
So
I think one should be in the mail for you at some point as well, so we can both wear them at the same time and be really cool.
yes. Well, I will do that when it's not like 30 degrees outside.
So, folks, before we get into it, as always, if you want to stay up to date with everything that we're doing, everything Company of Heroes related, you can follow us on your social platform of choice at Company of Heroes. Again, you can find the forums and this awesome jacket giveaway at community.companyofheroes.com. You can join our Discord, discord.gg/Company of Heroes, and of course, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Relic Entertainment. So, Gabby, I think we've got a lot to cover. We don't want to be here too long. So we wanted to follow up the release of our PC update, Brass Leopard, which was 115, by answering some of our player questions. So we asked our players on Discord and on our social channels for some questions, and you definitely delivered. So we've got a lot of really good ones. Though some things we won't necessarily be able to answer right now as we're reorganizing. We're planning out a lot of new stuff. We'll cover as much as we can today, but please ensure you're leaving more questions in the chat. This is going to be a bit of a shorter live stream as we're still working on that bigger plan that we promised you, which is going to be coming sometime in July, and we'll have more answers and insight on what's coming in the future then in July when we can put that out. So I think that's kind of it. We put your questions to a bunch of folks on the Co3 team, and we collected all of those answers for you today, so we can get into it. Gabby, I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to talk about, because I know it's been a tough couple of weeks at Relic. I think that's not a secret, but I think we've been doing a lot of really good reorganization, and we're in the midst of reprioritizing a lot of things to sort of set ourselves up for success in the future. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that.
Yeah, I'm actually excited with with us being able to provide like actual roadmap in July and for players to have a better understanding of where we're going with the project. So that is the exciting part here, is that despite what happened and
Hmm.
everything, we're reorganizing and we're hopefully getting to a place where players are going to be excited for what's coming.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let's maybe just dive right into some of those questions. Like I said, we've got a lot to cover. And again, we're going to try and stagger these live streams a little bit more regularly. So we'll have one every 2 weeks, which is why we're probably going to keep this one a little bit shorter. So let's just start with some general topic questions here. One of the ones that I saw was specifically about like balance and catching bugs. The the question really was like, hey, can players help with that? Will we ever stand up, or will we ever include any sort of public testing before releasing an update?
Yeah. And I think that's a really valid question, actually. And for now, we're definitely not equipped to support a public testing before the release of the patch. But this is something that we want to explore for the future. And I think that we would be focusing less about finding bugs and more about testing, gameplay balance changes, and making sure we get feedback before that goes live.
Mhm.
So that would be the goal when we're exploring this for the future.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think we want to do down the road. It's just a matter of like being in a position that we can adequately support it, right? And actually, there's
Yes,
no point in people testing the game early if we can't do anything about that feedback, right? So,
exactly.
yeah. So I think it's someplace we want to get to pretty soon here. Um,
Yep.
what about new content? I know that's obviously a big point of feedback from folks is like, hey, when are we getting new stuff? Fixes and stuff
Yep.
are great, and revamps to systems and features are all great, but when are we getting new content? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, actually, for the new content, we're going to be focusing on adding maps and expanding the map pool for all the modes.
Yeah.
So as we already announced in our next update, so Emerald Bear or 1.2.0, there's going to be 2 new maps coming to the auto match, right? So a 3v3 and a 4v4. And we're also working on 2 additional maps with the TBD time for release.
Hmm.
And we do hope, or I don't want to ruin the surprise right now, but we might have a little bit something. Sorry, there's a cat in front of me. Uh, there might be something about that today that you
Okay.
can see.
Awesome. I mean, cats are excited about new maps as well, so I can't blame them. Just a quick thing. I was talking to Will yesterday, and so we've got the 2 maps in July that are both coming to PvP auto match, a 3v3 and a 4v4, like Gabby said. The ones after that, one is going to be a slight rework, so it's not new. It's just going to be a slight rework, but there is another new map coming after that one as well. But the timing on that is still TBD. Um,
Sorry, I was distracted by the cat, but yes, I think there is another very important topic about maps that we want to talk about today.
yeah.
So there was a lot of conversations about community made maps and
Hmm.
why are we not integrating this right away in the game? And yeah, John, do you want to talk to us about that a
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah. I think there was some misinformation going around. I think like people were saying we're not going to like when we were asked about it, we said no, which is not the case. Community made maps are obviously very important to the Company of Heroes franchise. They've been a part of the series since the start, and this is something that we're definitely exploring for the future, as we definitely want to do it. However, it's something that's going to take time. We need to make some changes to the game itself in terms of like how we accommodate those community maps and how we integrate them into the game. But the big thing is we really have to lock down a formal process for submission of maps for our team to review them and then for us to implement them. So unfortunately, all those things take time and they take a lot of people being involved to lock it all down and make it actually happen. But again, it is something that we want to explore and then something that we want to do. It's just not going to happen tomorrow, unfortunately, but soon. TM.
The soon TM,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, soon TM. So Gabby, another question about content that we sometimes get is around cosmetics and about the cosmetics that are in the game and whether they're going to sort of stay grounded in World War II, inspired by certain aspects of World War II, even if they're not one-to-one accurate. They're very much inspired, and we try and be as authentic as possible with them. So is that kind of the line that we're taking with cosmetics right now, or are they ever going to be more fantastic?
Yeah. Okay. So for cosmetics, we're going to be shifting our focus a little bit away from the cosmetics.
Mhm.
You will see some more cosmetics coming to the store. They will stay in a more grounded style, for sure. But this is not going to be our main focus as we're trying to improve the core game.
Mhm.
Um, so there's package of cosmetic ready that's ready to go eventually. That is still in the grounded style. However, um, and I'm not promising anything for the future at all today, but we've been seeing a lot of requests for a ton of different style of
Yeah,
cosmetics. So,
yeah.
John, what would be your idea of like if you could have one fantastical casino in
Uh,
the game.
you just want me to go first so I can make the players angry. If if
Wow,
if if
I
if
wouldn't
if
do
I
that.
if I could control our art team and our art department and like get them to make any skins that I wanted, it would probably be like something that was like really like hot, bright pink with like encrusted diamonds on it or something. Just like the most like gaudy, like bright, obnoxious thing I could think of. And I'd use it every match. Yeah. What about you? What's the one
Of
dream
course,
cosmetic that you would have?
I gotta say, like our the uwu stickers in Discord.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that a lot, but for me, it was I know it sounds dumb, but cat ears on tank, like you can't go wrong, or little hats,
hmm
you know, just
hmm
like tiny little things, not a big thing, but just it's there. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, we're joking. Don't panic. This is not something
It's
that's
not happening.
happening.
Well, yeah, like Abby said, the focus is kind of
Googly eyes on tanks.
googly
Sorry,
eyes
I'm
would be
reading
good.
the chat right
Yeah,
now. Everyone's going crazy.
um, yeah. Like Abby was saying, the on a more serious note, like the shifting priorities and shifting focus is to improve the core game. We know
Yep.
that's really important to not just like new player onboarding, but like the long term success of Co3 and the longevity of the game and keeping players engaged and playing regularly. And that's why we're kind of taking this moment right now to sort of regroup and reprioritize those things. And like we said, we'll have a better plan for you in July. I don't know if they're like this. This might be a good point to address that, Gabby. But like those sort of shifting priorities. I know we don't want to get into it too much because the team is still working on that. But I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted
Yep.
to say there.
About shifting priorities
Yeah,
specifically, I don't know
maybe not
where you're
specifically.
leaving me right now.
Maybe not specifically, but just
I,
just the fact that we're like taking that time to sort of regroup right now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd rather we take the time and come up with like a solid plan that we can show our players,
hmm
and that's why today there is some questions that again we're not going to answer because hopefully you're going to have an answer to it when we present our roadmap
Yeah.
in a month
Yep.
or ish in July.
Month-ish. Month-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this is probably a tougher question, so I'm going to throw it to you. Are we ever going to see, or will we see in the future any updates to the modding tools or the world builder? Are there going to be any updates coming soon to those two tools? Are they going to be coming more regularly? So that we can kind of get them to a better place that we want them to be at. Where are we at with mod tools?
Yeah. So for mod tools, we're going to continue supporting the modding tools as they are right now in their existing capacity. However, I'm going to be the person that's going to bring, the bad news here. But as we're focusing on the core game, we're not planning short-term improvements to the mod tools. So I'm sorry, modders. I'm, the party pooper here today. We don't have the major changes planned or anything. We did make some small improvements and fixes in a recent update, but our focus is really going to be on the core game for improvements.
Yeah. So the other sort of tough question that we get now with the console edition out is, will mods ever be coming to the console edition?
Yeah, so right now we're just going to support mod through the Steam Workshop for the moment. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So in turn, like kind of shifting gears to console, there are a ton of
Just
questions. Yeah. Sorry. Go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm going to stop you for a
Yeah.
second. Someone is asking if core game means multiplayer or single player. It means both.
Both. Yeah. Means
It's
both.
both multiplayer and single player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just to specify here when we say core game.
Yeah, no, that's a great clarification. Thank you. So shifting gears to console edition, because I know there are a lot of questions around that and about patching cadence and that sort of thing. So how are we planning to update both the PC and the console editions? Are we ever going to eventually try to get them to parity in terms of when the updates are coming out? If there are changes that make sense for one platform and not another, are we going to keep them separate? Like, what are our plans with how those updates are going to work?
Yeah. So we'll do our best to keep the console edition, updated in terms of keeping up to the PC version, but it's not going to be parity. So I'm
Right.
going to be really clear here and very transparent about that. Uh, we're not aiming for parity in the short term. Updates will be further apart on console, but they will contain more content, as you know, they will be bundling multiple PC release together, and they will be coming to console as a one bundle.
A little warm in here.
It, yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a good fall jacket. You know, it's a good jacket if you need to invade Italy or something, but maybe not for live streams.
All right.
um,
Yeah, and talking about console brought up controller support for Co, and we've been receiving some questions from our PC players as to like, hey, is controller coming to PC as well? So John, do you want to
yeah, so we're not going to
shed
be
us some
bringing
light on that?
yeah, going back to that what we were talking about like having to really focus on the core game. We're not going to be bringing controller support to PC right now, as we do have those higher priority needs that the team has to sort of focus on. However, this is something that we could potentially revisit in the future. But like you were saying, like we definitely want to ensure that that console is sort of staying up to date as much as possible. However, like you said, like those updates may come a little bit behind PC, and more often than not, we'll be bundling a bunch of PC updates into one sort of big console update.
Yep.
I guess the other question on this, and I can answer this one. I can be the bad guy. Crossplay. Are we ever going to do crossplay between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC? And right now, we're not planning crossplay.
Yeah, and that was, in our FAQ, we have made it clear that right now crossplay was not a thing, but we know that this is something that player want.
Hmm.
We've
Hmm.
seen it. There's, a lot of conversations about crossplay and the options that would give people. Some people are saying that like, hey, it would put, a console player in a bad place because of the controller versus mouse and keyboard. Again, there is mouse and keyboard support on console as well, but there's argument for all sides. For now, we're sadly not doing
Mm.
crossplays.
This is a great question from the chat. What about dance mat support? I think that's a very valid question, and I'm bringing that to our next meeting because I want to know about dance mat support for Company of Heroes.
I've seen people play, Call of Duty on bongos and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I'm,
So
I'm
I
sure I'm
guess,
sure someone can make it work. So I'm sure there are some folks out there that can get it working. Um, okay, let's maybe move into some maybe more design or gameplay focused things. Um, One question I saw was about like sort of player progression and customization. Like our perimeters came with like some profile banners, but are we doing more with that? And can you maybe shed some light on that?
yeah. So we'll be introducing a player profile feature in the upcoming update. Um, we will have more to show on that very soon. We're planning more live streams, a little bit like we did for 1.1.5 or the Brass Leopard,
Hmm.
right? Where we have designer come in and present the things that are upcoming. So we will have someone come and present the changes, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think, uh, sorry, I'm sorry. I think that having these live streams more often, we're gonna present today or tell you what's coming for the live streams as well, so you know when you're gonna know more about these things we're talking about today.
Hmm.
Um, I've seen a question in the chat that I wanted to address.
Yeah.
So, what about more freaking balanced patches uh, and I think that's a good question. And these are the kind of questions we were saying earlier that would be answered by our roadmap later. So you'll have those kind of answers when we have that roadmap in July.
Yeah. There's another one I was looking at in the chat that I think is probably an easy one to answer. Someone was asking, why can't you just bring over old maps from CoH1 and CoH2? Uh, I've had lots of discussions with Will Ward about this, aka Monolithic Bacon, and unfortunately, you just can't port those over one to one. It's also the reason why modders using the world builder can't do that as well, because of Essence Engine 5. You basically have to start from scratch. Like there's no way to easily import those old maps into the new game. So that's one of the reasons why map making is a little bit time consuming right now. So let's maybe talk about the other sort of thing that the players are probably most interested about, or at least the folks that are here watching this live that really want to know about is when replays, Gabby. When replays. I know
Hey,
the replay feature is something that's like you know obviously very important to the game, and we know its value as well, and it's something that we definitely want to deliver. But do you have more news on when that's coming?
yeah. So, as we said in our Road Ahead of Us blog post, we're taking some time to get that solid roadmap. However, today we would like to tell you that we're, planning and something that we would like to introduce to the game. So, replay, we would like to introduce to the game by this fall. So that is the goal here, the plan. I know there is no date on that yet.
Hmm.
And again, uh, we're still working the kinks and working the plan, but this is our official first word on replay. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm very excited that we can actually start talking about when we're trying to deliver that. So a little bit more patience, and we'll hopefully have that in good shape for this fall.
yeah, this is one form of soon TM, but at least there's a soon TM that you have a ballpark soon
Yeah,
TM,
soon TM.
I guess.
Um,
Well, while we're talking about design and
mhm.
and gameplay, I know there was a couple of questions about what kind of balance issues or anything we're tracking for the next update for balance.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like you and I are often chatting with the designers about this, just sort of get a better sense of like what's coming and how those changes are going to impact the players. Because oftentimes there are a lot of fixes and things that happen that players will never necessarily notice because they're happening in the background. But there are definitely a ton that are coming in Emerald Bear in July that are going to be very noticeable. I think the first one, especially for longtime Company of Heroes fans, that they're going to notice is that vehicle pathfinding has been basically completely revamped. So shout outs to Miguel, aka Devim, and the other folks that were working on that. It's essentially had sweeping changes that should alleviate a lot of the frustrating moments as well as improve responsiveness for vehicles. So we're gonna. I think we were capturing some video of that so we can show some before and
I
afters.
I've seen some of them, and
Yeah,
I would say the changes are going to be appreciated. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Someone just said DevM Unleashed, and I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna get T-shirts made of that. um, yeah. So aside from that, team weapons have had a bunch of changes that should iron out some friction points in their usage. Again, we'll probably get into some more of those details as we get closer to the update launching. And the other big one that I was talking to Marco about is that off-map abilities have all been revamped to improve their reliability, their responsiveness, their consistency, and also their clarity across the board. And again, we'll try and showcase some of those things in the next few weeks. But yeah, we're going to showcase some more of those sneak peeks. Like you said, we'll probably do a more in-depth showcase live stream with some of the designers in the next few weeks. And yeah, hopefully folks are excited about some of those things that are coming down the road. Yeah, Gabby, I don't know. Were there any other questions in the chat that popped out to you that you wanted to address here?
Um, Nothing that I think we can answer today,
Hmm.
sadly.
Hmm.
Uh, Obviously we got the traditional when Italian, so that's one more week, King. Um, and
We're not confirming anything. Um,
no, absolutely not.
no, no. But yeah, no, I think like we were saying earlier, there's we're trying to answer as much as we can right now. But as the team is sort of reorganized over the last few weeks, I think we're getting ourselves set up to answer a lot of those questions in more depth come July. Like we said, we're gonna have hopefully a bit more of an in-depth roadmap for you that sort of
Yep,
like shows you the long-term plans for the game. And again, a lot of those discussions amongst the team are happening right now. And there's a lot of tough conversations, but I think a lot of good ones to help improve the game and to help like I said, longevity and to help
yep.
us getting players playing. So I think that might be it for
Yeah,
us
as we
today.
said
Yeah.
earlier, yeah, as we said earlier, we're gonna we're gonna have this short Q&A today because there are a lot of questions will be answered next month or in July with the roadmap. Stay, because we have something special to show you after John wraps up.
Okay. Yeah.
This
Don't
stream.
go anywhere. But
Don't
again,
go anywhere.
I'm going to read this section in my document called wrap up. So that'll be it for this Q&A. Our next live stream is planned for June 29th. And we're going to be focusing on the next two multiplayer maps. So Will Ward is going to be joining me for that, and he's going to talk us through, all the work that went into the next two multiplayer maps that are going to be coming to PvP. So again, if you want to stay up to date on everything Company of Heroes 3, be sure to follow us on your social platform of choice at Company of Heroes. Go to discord.gg/Company of Heroes so you can chat with us and share your memes. Twitch.tv/Relic Entertainment so you can find out when we're live, and of course everything else. And to check out that cool jacket, community.companyofheroes.com. Finally, really fun giveaway that I wanted to share here with you folks. We're really proud to be announcing a partnership with Maglite, which is, of course, the iconic flashlight brand. And they're running sweepstakes through the month of June where you can enter to win a free copy of the CoH3 Console Edition, a customized controller for either Xbox or PlayStation 5, and a Maglite prize package. So the deadline for this is June 30th. And you can find the link in the chat. Thank you very much, King, for sharing that link. So check that out, and you can win some cool controllers and the console edition. But Gabby, you're saying people shouldn't go anywhere, and I guess
Yes.
I guess I can show this off. All right, here.
Yeah, maybe something you found around.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone sent this to me in an email, and I thought it was a scam, but I figured I could show it off. So here's a quick tease of the next two maps that are coming in July. So a huge shout out again to Will for just pulling a couple of screenshots while he was working on this. I'm excited for these, and like you said, go ahead.
I gotta say, this one's my favorite. The
night map,
the night setup.
It
looks amazing.
Yeah, with all the spotlights, it looks pretty sick. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna have Will run us through these maps, show you what's up with the maps.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we go, Gabi, any parting words for our friends?
Well, I hope you have a lot of fun in the game. I'm still learning. I'm still getting better at multiplayer, and getting my ass handed to me during our playtest. So
so we'll definitely have to get back to some more play sessions soon.
Yes, please. I need help.
Yeah. So again, folks, if you missed some of the answers, you can go back and check the VOD when you have a moment, and we'll also be throwing this on YouTube as well. So thanks again for hanging out. We'll catch you next time when we do our map showcase. And I think that's it for us today. So thanks so much for.
Thank you for.
Awkward pause. Thanks so much for joining us, Gabi.
Okay.
I love the chaos
Bye,
energy.
everyone.
See you, folks. Take it easy.